Jags, Browns. Do you know that the Browns are one of the best teams in the NFL when it comes to winning at home? They've only suffered one home loss this season. The Jaguars, they're the best road team in the league. They haven't lost a road game yet. And it's odd how the Jags play their best football on the road relative to how they play at home. We saw Trevor Lawrence have a nasty injury Monday night against the Cincinnati Bengals in a loss. He has a high ankle sprain. Reports coming around say that he's going to be doing round-the-clock rehabilitation, and he could play in this game. There's like a 60-40 chance that he does, 60% chance that he does, 40% chance that he doesn't. And if he plays in this game, going against Myles Garrett in this really talented Browns defense that has had a tremendous turnaround under Jim Schwartz in his first season as their defensive coordinator, is his lack of mobility going to be a hindrance for the Jaguars offensive line that hasn't really played that good this season? Jacksonville is a team that can be really up and down at times. When Trevor Lawrence gets pressure in his face, he's not that great. He's a quarterback that at times, when the pass rush really gets after him, he gets rattled. The Browns got a really great defense. We don't know what the hell to expect from the offense. Joe Flacco looked good against the Rams. The Jaguars gave up a really big day or a really big night to Jake Browning, the Bengals backup filling in for Joe Burrow. Their pass defense has been their Achilles heel all season long. Their secondary is not good. Josh Allen's their only consistent pass rusher. Trayvon Walker, he can't get consistent pressure on the QB. He's a bust. The lack of pass rush for Jacksonville could hurt them in this game. Their run defense is arguably the best in the NFL. They're top 5 against the run. But Cleveland, they've showed last week that they're not afraid to ask Joe Flacco to throw the football downfield. And they're not just doing check down passes. They're trying to push the football down vertically. Just because they just picked up Joe Flacco and he may not have a lot of the playbook down pack doesn't mean that they're going to have the same style play that they did with DTR and PJ Walker. You see, when those two guys were in that quarterback, they were calling plays, not trying to force the issue because they were scared that they were going to turn the football over. They trust Joe Flacco a lot more than how they did with PJ and DTR. This is a Jaguars secondary that, if you're Kevin Stefanski, you feel no problem asking Joe Flacco to throw the football 25 or more times. This is a secondary that hasn't proven to be able to slow anybody down. With the way that Jay Browning was looking Monday night, like the great value brand version of Joe Burrow, we could see Joe Flacco replicate a similar performance like he had last week. You see, the Browns, they got to be able to close out these close games. They can't have any costly turnovers. Even with the not fully healthy Trevor Lawrence at the helm, if he plays, you still feel really confident that the Jags offense should be able to at least get 20 on this Browns defense. Now, if Trevor Lawrence isn't able to play, and they got to throw in their backup quarterback, I'm trying to remember the name who they had in last week. I believe it was CJ Beathard. It's going to be really daunting for this offense to move the football. This is one of the best defenses in the NFL. They don't give up a lot of big plays. They're really good at forcing turnovers at really big moments like they did against the Ravens. And this is a win-win game for both of these teams. So Browns need to win this game to hang on to the last seed in the AFC. The Texans are right on their behind. The Jaguars need to continue to win so they can hold off the Houston Texans for the division potentially. I got to roll with the Jags to win. I am super confident that Trevor Lawrence is going to play in this game. Even if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I still like Jacksonville because I don't believe that the Browns offense is going to be able to sustain the amount of success in the passing game that they had last week against the Rams. Yeah, I know that Jacksonville's secondary hasn't been great, but Joe Flacco is still very new to this offense. He's still learning these teammates, and there are going to be some bumps and bruises in there. So I do expect for him to have a couple of turnovers. The Jags defense, one thing that they have been able to do, even dating back to last year, is that they're really good at forcing takeaways at opportune moments. And I don't think that Joe Flacco is going to be good enough to get the Browns to win. I'm going with Jacksonville to win.